Are you hoping this one gets decided before the final minute of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, definitely would love to be ahead in the game and obviously be well ahead where we could run the ball in the fourth quarter and end it quickly. But if it does come down to the last drive, we've had some success doing that, and we'll be ready to do it again.
The records show that you're 5-3, they're 1-6. I would suggest that, at least on paper, it should be a walkover. But given the challenge they gave you the first time, is there something special about them that they match up so competitively with your team, particularly their defense against your offense?
Yeah, I think their defense is obviously a very good defense. They've been put in some tough situations this year as a defense, and they got a lot of vets that have done some great things in this league, and we know how good they are on defense, and we've been preparing like any other week, and we saw even last week they played Saskatchewan very tough to the wire there. So they're not far off from winning games, so we need to take them very seriously, and that's what we have been doing.
Drew, Mike's been really consistent. Mike O'Shea has been really consistent with us, talking about an emphasis on the present, not looking at games in the past, not talking about losing streaks, and it really sounds like he's made that the way of the locker room as well. Has that been an adjustment for players from other coaches who might say, guys, you got to win tonight, or jobs are on the line, or things like that? You don't get that feel from him at all. Has that been an adjustment for this group, and has everybody kind of had to drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak, and get on board?
I've never really heard jobs are on the line from coaches before, but
well, you know what I mean. Some guys like to yell and scream and kick things.
Yeah, that's not really coach's attitude at all. He's just motivating us to play at a high level and doing everything he can along with the other coaches to make sure we're in the best situation out there on the field to perform at a high level. So, his message has pretty much been the same every single week, and this week was no different.
Do you take on that personality, that approach as a group? Do you find that that's kind of taking over in the room and guys are on the same wavelength?
Yeah, you can't worry about the past. Obviously you want to learn from your mistakes, but dwelling on losses and things that you could have done better, you just want to learn from them, but you have to move on, and else it's going to keep happening.
So how important is that part of football for players? To have that mentality that isn't too up and down and that isn't too anxious or threatening. Do you find that that's a positive for your game?
That's the only way I know how to play. That's the way. I'm kind of the same way in my mentality, kind of stay the same no matter win or loss. We have a job to do, and that's win football games. And the best way I know about going, doing that is just staying consistent every single week, doing what I've been taught to be successful.
Is the Montreal defense doing much different on film than what they did to you in week 3?
Well, last week they played, Woods at middle linebacker. He's back, so they did a few different things, but they've been pretty consistent in what they do. Maybe playing a little bit more zone than previous games against SAS, but they have a lot of vets that obviously have been doing very good things for a long time, so they're probably thinking, why change? But they have a good defense, that's for sure. And week 3, everyone was saying they could be the best defense in the league at that point. So there hasn't been too many changes. I don't know, they changed their field corner, but other than that, it's been pretty much the same defense. So a lot of talent, and but they are going to do what they've done successful for years.
Is that the game you faced the most pressure, you think? Maybe the Saskatchewan game?
I'm not sure. You guys will probably know better than me, honestly.
Yeah. Going into, the old saying is that the season starts at Labor Day, and this is the last game before Labor Day against an East opponent. How important is it for you guys to win this game going into the second half, which is a lot of West Division opponents? Yeah,
it's very important. Every game's important, but like you said, definitely be nice to get back on the winning track. Saying that the season doesn't start until Labor Day, it's every game counts the same in the 18 games. So I guess you could say there's more on the line just because you know where you are in the standings, and it could shift either way. But they're all important, and we've been preparing for this one just like any other game.
this is the first week since week 1 that you've had all of your number 1 receivers in starting lineup. Is that something that comes into your mind, or is it irrelevant who your targets are?
Definitely comes into my mind. Just, we were able to do some good things in that first game and put a lot of pressure on the defense. Those guys have put a lot of hard work in to get back on the field, and Denmark's been able to play a whole bunch of different positions and been able to move him around. But just to get Nick Moore back, and then Watson going at full throttle with the ones is definitely good for our us as an offense. So just to put all those guys back in their natural positions where they were playing throughout training camp and that first game will be definitely nice to have.